How often can you call someone back when you're cold calling? This is quite important because if you get it wrong, you're going to bother people. If someone calls you, let's put yourself in the mind of a customer, and you don't pick up the phone. It's an unknown number, and you just couldn't get to it for a minute. You see the number, and then for some reason you just don't bother calling them back, right? You just think, oh, I don't know who it is. Fine. If that person calls you back the next day and you miss it, you might start to think, okay, this is a cold call. Calls you back again. Now you're remembering the number. Yeah? And now there's friction in your mind. And you're thinking, I don't want to pick up this call. They're going to try and sell me. I'm not saying you should try and surprise people with your cold call. That's not what cold calling's about. It's about moving someone from cold, introducing yourself, and getting permission to talk to them again. It's an introduction, right? But what you don't want to do is have friction building up before you've even talked to the prospect. Similarly, if you double dial someone, so they don't pick up and then you call them back immediately, what does that usually indicate in normal life? If a family member of yours or a friend of yours double dialed you like that, what does that mean? That's emergency, right? Double dialing is reserved for family emergencies, or I desperately need to get through to you. That's why when someone's phone's on Do Not Disturb, a double dial will get through the Do Not Disturb. It's because it's for emergencies. If you're a cold caller and you double dial someone, I will personally come round and throw your phone on the ground. You will have phone privileges removed. No double dialing. So what is the optimal way to call someone back? Bearing in mind, you've probably got a list of 1,000 leads that you want to call, right? And so if someone doesn't pick up, it doesn't really matter. You can just move on. So, in my opinion, the optimal number of days to call someone back so that you're still actively following up. This is an ideal customer. You've picked this person because they're an ideal customer, right? So you do want to speak to them. The ideal amount of time to leave between calling someone is 3 days. So if I call someone on a Monday and they don't pick up, I will set a reminder in my calendar, in my CRM, to call this person back on a Thursday. That is enough time that I'm not pestering them, but I'm still making it a priority to try and talk to them. What about voicemails? I think it's very good to leave voicemails because, well, one, people do listen to them, yeah, and you can be on the voicemail and you're in a happy tone, you've got good energy, you're talking upbeat. It's a good first impression. Even if they realise, oh, I don't know this person, it's a cold call. If you're upbeat and friendly, you might get the call back. It's quite unlikely you do get called back from a voicemail, but when you do call them again, if they pick up the phone to you, they might already know you a bit. So if you can leave a voicemail, do. It's not obligatory, but it is an extra good thing that you can do. It's a good touch point that might get you the call back, and it's a good first impression. You're going to have to test this for yourself. In my experience, leaving voicemail is good, and you know, I like the impression that I think it leaves, right? So it's 3 days. What happens if you leave it longer than that? What happens if you leave it longer than three or 4 days to call them back? The problem with leaving it longer is that you're not going to get in contact with enough people. Maybe you've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads and it's fine to leave it longer. But if you have identified that this person is an ideal customer, you should want to actively talk to them. So you want to get them through your pipeline and either get a meeting booked or get told absolutely no, and then you call them back in 6 months' time. So if someone doesn't pick up the phone, call them back in 3 days. Do not call them back every day. You will make friction. And do not double dial because you will go to sales hell. I'm Alex. If you want to learn how to generate digital marketing leads and make sales through cold calling, check the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.